Zealand's vibe, surfing waves day to night. Always looking for the next thrill, that's where I ignite. Community so solid, always shining bright. Rolling deep and cruising for the height. From the struggle to the stream, it's all just a game. But with the giver found, we're making our name. Tracking crypto profits, life just gets sweeter. Every view and every stream, making life a keeper. Give us a minute, yeah, we take our time. Living in the moment, life's a subtle wine. From the land down under, streaming through the night. Got my heart on my sleeve, everything feels right. So here's to the journey, no regrets in sight. Each laugh and each tear, it's a beautiful fight. Keep the wave rolling, let the good vibes flow. We're the givers, together in the show. Gives a minute, yeah, we take our time. Living in the moment, the life's a subtle wine. From the land down under, streaming through the night. Got my heart on my sleeve, everything feels right.
Well, hello, welcome to the stream. Got a little few changes here, and I'm not 100% certain if this is the setup that I want to roll with, but it seems to be okay right now. By the way, GH5 is back. We have the GH5. I'm stoked on that. The image quality should be back up again. Was using my phone as an NDI source for so long. Oh, who's this? Oh, that's crap. Was using my phone as an NDI source for as long as possible. You might notice some little layout changes to the setup. Also some audio changes. Again, this is the first time I'm using. While I was waiting for my GH5 to come back, I invested in some hardware, the RODECaster Pro II for a hardware mixing console, and wow, seems like it's going to be everything I've ever needed or I've ever wanted. Funnily enough, I recently did buy the Stream Deck for the idea of using dials to ramp up and down audio, but the hardware processing of this RODECaster might be the better version or the better option. I guess it'll really come into its own when we do a call-in, because being able to route audio from, say, Firefox, or wait, did we use, dude, what did we use? We used Chrome, right? Remember that time with Dale when I couldn't work out which browser we used and we spent like 40 minutes trying to suss it out, and then it was like, hang on, man, you're using the wrong browser. Well, I feel like if we work out which browser we're using, we should be able to route audio straight from the browser into the hardware device, then send it back to the browser with a mix minus so the guest hears everything and, well, the guest hears everything minus their voice, the stream hears everything. And I feel like, yeah. But by the way, let me just check here. I haven't streamed for a while. Is everything working? Is everything sounding okay? I mean, like I said, I'm routing audio directly through this hardware device, and levels could be all over the shop. This is a new, I've got compression on my microphone. It sort of sounds a little bit like it might be a fraction latency. If I turn my Kansas down, I kind of want to turn my cans right down. There's a bit of latency going on there. And hello. And also, what's with DLive? When did clips disappear on DLive? What happened to clips? They were there for so long. I went in there to check some old clips and I was like, are you kidding me? They've removed clips? Let me show you. Let me show you. I'll trouser it down here. Give me a second here to go to my channel. Yeah, my channel's playing here, and I went down here to find clips, and the tab's gone, dude. The tabs are gone. No clipses. It's an eclipse, a total eclipse. Either way, yeah, I've just done a few small changes to my setup here. This will be the setup that I roll with now. I was going to wait till August, which is my 10th year anniversary on YouTube. And then when my GH5 broke and I was using my phone, I was kind of messing around in the back end, just tweaking a little bit of the logo change, some color changes and whatnot. And when I bought this hardware mixer, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to come back in with the new mixer and start using it, and start I guess what I'm saying is this is now the new format that I'm going to roll with from here on in. So with that in mind, I have removed the Beam logo from my stream. I've kind of removed any indication of where this is being broadcast. The decision there was that I kind of want to keep it agnostic to any platform. So wherever you want to watch this, you can. For so long I was saying you should come over to so-and-so, you should come over here, you should stream, you should watch here, you should do this and that. Now I'm saying you can watch it wherever you see it, and we're going to pull it all together into the one platform. The chat is the multi-chat. I'll just check that is working. The chat should be working here. I haven't tested it yet. This is a test on the Tubes of Uskis. I don't see it working. Ah, shit, it's not working. Great. Okay, well, that's what you do tests for. Let me just check the Kick chat then. If the YouTube's not working, test on the Kick machine. That's not working either. Okay. How long have I not been live for? That nothing's working? Is it working on, heaven forbid, DLive? Let me just check. Okay, so the chat's not working. Okay. I guess I've got to open up Stream, Social Stream, but it is open. Wait, is the app not open? The app's not open. That'll be why. The Social Stream app's not open. But I thought I opened it. It's opening. Wow, that's weird. Okay, so let me just refresh my trousers here. Select live source, active, activate selective, auto activate. That should have punched that in. I wonder if Social Stream died. What's good is a chat without a chat? What good is a live stream without a chat? What good is a live stream without viewers? Not much. Testing it there. Okay, so that's working on Kick now. I'll just test it on the Tubes of You. I mean, I didn't have the app open, as you might argue. You've only got yourself to blame there. Tester. Not working on YouTube. Why would that be the case? Let me find out. Select live sources, auto find and activate. YouTube gives a minute. Is there? Okay, I'll just remove this. Sign in. I was already signed in. Close this window after signing in. Are you kidding me? I am signed in. I'm signed in. Okay. Connection mode standard. Stop the source before activating with a new mode change. Stop the source. Stop the source. Downloaded a new version here. I don't want another new version. I've just added another new version. I guess I'll just turn off YouTube. I'm not really fond of that tune in the background either. I don't know if that was loud enough, that tune. I'm not really fond of that. I guess this is going to be a test stream. Stop and close this source. Okay, I stopped and closed the source. I'm going to activate a source. It's telling me to sign in, but I am signed in. Thank you so much. Reload this source. The source has been reloaded. Is that the right URL though? Let me just check if that's the right YouTube chat pop out. You need the chat pop out skins. Pop out chat skins, and it ends in 19M. Yeah, that's the right source. Okay. Oh, there it is. Okay, it's working. Okay, I don't know why it wasn't working before, but it's working now. So we'll just move on as if everything was working the whole time. So yeah, DLive has removed clips. Oh, I also did remove my, I did get paid from DLive. So Elfstar came in saying you probably should get that out of there. Yo, Hendrik, how you doing, man? Over on YouTube testing. Thank you, Hendrik. Thank you, man. Thank you for being here, Hendrik. You're the first here with, you know, the new kind of setup, I guess. The new, I don't know, the microphone to me, the audio sounds like a little, I don't know, there's a millisecond of latency, and it's kind of, it is a bit lame in my Kansas. I'm not used to that. I'm used to just when you speak, it's bang on, but I'm getting a fraction of latency. The amount of latency is like how fast it's gone into the system and back out, like the round trip. I hope you're not, I mean, I guess I have to listen to this stream back later, but I do like, I've got all my effects like compression and noise gate and low pass filter, all of that applied in the hardware mixer, and then the mixer sends it back to OBS. That's pretty neat. Like I've only got one audio source in OBS, and it's this, everything piled in together. It's pretty swish. But the real test will come when we do a call in. When it comes time to calling in, that's the real test. You know what? It'll also be a test right now. Let's just do a little audio sample here for. I know what you mean. Are you hearing that, Hendrik? Are you hearing that, or are you just saying that you understand what it is? Let's do a little test here with an alert here. See, I'm pretty certain that would have all gone through. You would have heard the can crack opening because I saw it leveled up on my machine here. It's pretty sweet, actually. It sounds okay to us? Okay, thank you, Hendrik. Thank you, man. That's rad. Yeah, cool. So what this will mean is when we have call-ins, as it stands right now, I will take all the audio from Chrome, if that's the browser we were using. When Dale gets here, we'll have to confirm. I think it is. We'll take all the audio, and it comes up on one channel in the RODECaster Pro, and I can apply compression, and all the processing that I apply to this mic can get applied to that mic, which is actually a virtual source. So it pulls in virtual sources down the same pipe that it sends it back to the stream with. It's pretty swish. You got three USB sources. You've got one that they call the chat, which is kind of strange. It's just a name that they chose, but you can use it for Discord chats. So that all pulls into the system, and I can ramp it up and down just super simply. And yeah, this hardware device probably should have been as important as lighting, a good mixing console. I guess you do need it. But then again, you can also use loopback and a wangle of the Stream Deck. You can wangle the Stream Deck and use loopback if you wanted to. By the way, I just changed some coloring here. My logo's a bit different, and I just made it a little, like the whole setup now is a little bit more streamlined. This is what I'm going to probably roll with now for the next 10 years, I guess. This kind of setup. I hope looks okay. I hope it works. Yeah, and I mean, yeah, I'd encourage you to go ahead and use the kick alerts as well, because they'll obviously still be there for forever. I'm going to add Trump saying who fucked up. Someone fucked up and Trump said the F word. That's awesome. Yeah, I love that. But I'm going to go and grab a coffee. I'm very tired. I didn't get home till 2 last night, then up at 7 this morning. I'm pretty tired, but I do want to hang out for a while. We've got a lot of tabs. I've been away. I haven't streamed for a little while. In fact, it's been 10 weeks, and that jack needs opening, but not today. But I haven't been here for so long. We got wazooed tabs. I'm going to get to those with a coffee. I don't know how this is going to roll though. Because I'm not using the Stream Deck for audio. I don't know. Just take a look at this surfing clip, and when I come back, tell me if the audio worked correctly. I don't know. This could be a miss or a hit. I'll be right back though. Get that out of there. I'm not ready yet with my coffee. I'll be back shortly though. Enjoy this blowfly doing aerobics on a piece of styrofoam. Hey, thanks H-Man. Cheers for checking the surf audio. I was fearing that there might have been a double up, but I'll have to double check, or I'll check that when I watch the stream back later on. But yeah, my fear was that there's going to be this extra, because all the audio is being sent through the RODECaster. I figured that if there's any audio coming from OBS, it'll be weird because it'll patch that in as well to the RODECaster, but I don't think it did. But I do enjoy having this there. I can just mute the audio in and out willy-nilly. I like that feature. I haven't had that on the, well, I guess you could do that on the Stream Deck pretty easily, but I didn't. There's a whole bunch of things that I still want to do. Like I want to see if I can I want to split. Man, this will get complex. I want to split the audio coming out of Chrome into individual tracks. And then I want to use the Stream Deck to be able to ramp up and down those audio levels. So that way, when we open up Chrome and we have call-ins, the left-hand dial will be the first guest, the second guest, the third guest, fourth guest, up to 4. And I can ramp them up and down, and that sends the feed into the RODECaster and then out to the stream, and also back to Chrome with the mix minus, so the guest hears everything except their own voice. And I know it's possible. Like you can using loopback, which is, I'm so stoked I bought that when I did. You can use loopback to pull out audio track, endless amounts of audio tracks, assuming they're in there. You can't just pull them out of thin air, but you can pull out left and right channels 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8, 9 and 10 into the RODECaster. And then you can also add these USB ports as well as additional, but I don't know about separating it from inside of Chrome itself, but we'll see. So we do have some, this will be another test here. We've got some videos to tabs out. This one here, Pure Sound, 2025 Ford Mustang. Now, I don't know if I've got this turned on, but we'll find out, I guess. Let's see how this goes. Full screen skis, full screener. Yeah, okay, audio's good there. All right. No prizes for guessing who added this to the mix. That's hot. Cast by Media. Has. Hi, Has on YouTube. How you doing, man? What's cracking, Has? has, does has, and has, had, and will have. These cars sound funny. Are they meant to sound like that? Sound like mosquitoes. Good, do you remember me? No, I don't. I do not. No, I don't remember you. Should I? I want to. Can I confess? Aside from when I was like 7 and 8, I've never been into car racing. I just never got it. I was the person who asked for you to react to the Kinito Pet song. Oh, yeah, cool. A couple of weeks ago. Okay. Yeah, cool. Have you changed your handle? I feel like that's a different handle now. You have? Okay. Well, there it is. That's why I didn't recognize you. Okay, so the point of this is the car goes fast. Yep. Cool. Let's move on. Here comes a tab. What's this? Maddow cracks up after revealing secret Elon Musk recording.
Watched Rachel Maddow last night. Your idea was to use words like bruising, unflinching, and flat-out repulsive to describe her assessment of the success of the Trump-Musk Doge venture. This all comes from her blistering opening monologue from just late last night. We watched. Now we'll share it with you. As you're about to see, Rachel brings the painful receipts for the disastrous return on Trump and Musk's investment in wholesale F-uppery and the fallout of Doge's blind slash and burn policy on Tesla's investors, but most especially on you and me. Here's what Rachel had to say about that, about what's working, about what's...
After this, can you react to Want Me a Kid Made It? Oh, man, look, I've got a lot to go through here today, so we might just stick with what we got. We got a lot. I've been live streamed for a couple of weeks, and I kind of want to catch up on some things. So if you want me to react to something, you're best off putting it in the Discord. There's a spot there in our Discord for Linky Poos. That's where I take these links from. But we're so backed up here, I kind of want to get through these guys.
It's not working. What are we thinking, Rachel?
So I think the protests are really starting to bug them.
And by the way, these are just random. Like there's no theme to I stream willy-nilly. I stream whatever we damn well please. Here we just have, looks like a bit of politics, right? A bit of political commentary, but I'm just learning about it as well. And by the way, this is old news.
I don't know if it's the number of protests or the number of people protesting or the fact that the protests really aren't going away and they keep seeming to grow. I don't know if it's the tenor and good humor and peaceful nature of the protest that's bugging them, but I think they're really getting bugged. I think it is really getting under their skin. And here's one way we can tell. Let's say you're the head of a big car company, and then something happens to your car company. And it's not happening to all car companies. It's not happening to the car sector, right? In fact, it's not happening to any other car company at all. It's only happening to your car company, and it's not good. Headline, CNN, Tesla profits plunge. Headline, Washington Post, Tesla earnings plunge. Headline, New York Times, Tesla's 71% drop in profit. Headline, USA Today, Tesla profits fall 71%. Headline, Wall Street Journal, Tesla profit.
Isn't it normal for things to go up and down greatly?
Sinks. Headline, Reuters, Tesla sales skid. If you are the head of a company that is having a day like that, how do you spend that day?
Wow, what was that pause? What the hell was with that big long pause?
That is having a day like that. How do you spend that?
Do you reckon she was waiting for auto cue to keep rolling up, or was she told to pause for dramatic effect?
Of a company that is...
How long is that
Tesla
pause?
sales skid. If you are the head of a company that is having a day like that, how do you spend that day?
I mean, that's such a long pause. She almost could start a whole new thought pattern there.
How do you spend that day that news breaks everywhere? Because, I mean, headlines like that are bad enough, but you look at the details, it's even worse. I mean, Tesla was expected to earn 41 cents per share.
Man, they love hating on Elon, right? They love to hate Elon Musk. He made rockets that launch and catch themselves. He made a rocket that launches and then catches itself. Reusable rockets. No one else has done that, but everybody hates him. It's so strange, hey? Everyone hates Elon Musk. He's invented fucking so much cool stuff, and people hate him.
They came in at 27 cents per share. That's like not only below market expectations, it's really, really below market expectations. The first quarter of last year, Tesla made $1.4 billion. The first quarter of this year, we learned today, you can drop the billion off of that. They went from $1.4 billion in the first quarter of last year to $0.4 billion this quarter.
$0.4 billion, and that's scoffable.
And even that was less than it appears. Tesla not only had that 71% drop in profit off of what they did last year, the profit they did have is not from selling cars. Quote, Tesla would have actually lost hundreds of millions of dollars this quarter had it not earned $400 million in interest on cash and investments, and had it not earned $595 million from selling credits to other car makers, which themselves failed to meet emissions regulations. So yeah, it looks like they made $0.4 billion. It looks like they made $400 million, but they would have been $600 million in the negative for this quarter. They would have lost $600 million.
This reporter is too happy about this news. What's her motive here? She's too invested in this information. She's not just giving us the news, she's gloating about it.
This quarter, if they hadn't had cash and investments, interest payments, and credits that were paid to them from other car companies because of anti-climate change government programs. That's what filled up their balance sheet.
And nothing about the cars that they manufacture, nothing about how rad those auto-driving cars are, nothing about that. The technology, no, shit.
Just a catastrophe.
A catastrophe.
And to add insult to injury.
Injury, he has another company that sends rockets to space and they catch themselves with a toothpick. That guy's a real asshole.
CEO's favorite of all his vehicles, at least the one he really, really, really likes to talk about and show off as much as possible, that is turning out to itself be the biggest disaster of all. Quote, the Cybertruck, Tesla's newest vehicle, which consumed a lot of the company's resources while it was being developed, is looking increasingly like a flop. Sales of the Cybertruck in the first quarter were down about 50% from the last quarter of last year. And they weren't all that good in the last quarter of last year.
She's loving it. She's loving this slagging session.
So if you're the guy who's head of this particular car company, today's just a disastrous day.
Makes you happy, doesn't it? Look at her.
Right? And why is this only happening to your company? Can we just put up those same headlines we just saw? Can we just put up those headlines again? Just put up that same list. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it's not a mystery, right? The reason this disaster has befallen this particular car company, the reason this disaster has befallen your car company, the reason this is happening to you and no one else is specifically because of you.
Man, she really doesn't like him, huh? She really doesn't like Elon Musk.
Tesla profit sinks, hurt by backlash over Elon Musk's political role. Tesla profits fall 71% amid backlash to Musk's
Tharvin,
role
how you
with
doing,
the
man?
Trump administration.
What's cracking, Tharvin, over on Beamstream? How you doing, buddy?
I mean, it's not a business world secret why this is happening. This is happening because of the guy who's the head of the car company. The company is repulsed by Elon Musk. The company is repulsed by what the New York Times gently describes tonight as, quote, Mr. Musk's support of far-right causes. The country really does appear to be just repulsed by President Donald Trump installing Musk, his top campaign donor, in a secretive, totally opaque, newly created pseudo-agency.
Pseudo-agency. Now, this is 2 months old. This information's 2 months old. I was going to say things have changed a little since then. The secret agency, the contract has expired. And so is the love.
His job appears to be to destroy as much of the U.S. government as possible. I mean, what do we think of when we think of Elon Musk now? We think of every fired park ranger,
Have you ever clicked on a scam link? Have I ever clicked on a scam link? Now, how would you define a scam link? Have I ever clicked on one? Maybe when I was a youngster.
Every line of old people and disabled people that's out the door at a totally beleaguered and no longer functional Social Security office. We think of every cancer researcher whose study was defunded midstream. We think of everybody who you know who's about to be handed over to the tender ministrations of a collection agency because of their student loans. We think of every HIV and tuberculosis and severe malnutrition miracle treatment program that was working great and saving millions of lives. But that
Hendrik, like that Twitch link. Yeah, true. Yeah, I just ignored that one, but that's definitely not legit.
inexplicably was cut off with no warning because of Elon Musk. I mean, all of these things.
Man, that's another giant pause in her auto reading.
And saving millions of lives, but that inexplicably was cut off with no warning because of Elon Musk. I mean,
almost sounds like Jay Boston's AI videos. There's just unusually unnatural pauses in the phrasing. That's funny. How's Jay doing, man? I haven't seen it. He hasn't uploaded in a while.
and all of these things that have come to
Maybe
pass
his subscription to the AI model has expired.
over these past 90 days. When we think about these things, when we're confronted with these headlines and with these disasters one after another, everybody thinks not just of President Donald Trump, but of his top campaign donor, who he has installed to do
Please stop pausing. This is the news. This is not news. This is one woman's opinion of Elon Musk disguised by headlines.
this stuff inside the U.S. government.
And by the way, you've got to pause it to make it transformative. If I didn't pause it, I'm not making the content transformative, and therefore I'm not falling under fair use.
And so, yeah, President Trump's top campaign donor, his car company just had a 71% plunge in profit year to year. And
They also made $406 million, but that's irrelevant.
they were lucky to have that. So if you're Elon Musk,
You were talking about her pausing. Okay, I thought you were talking to me. Her pausing, I feel, is auto cue. I think the auto cue's going too slow for her. You can see her eyes darting. She's looking for the next line.
if you're Elon Musk today, on
Whoa, there's another one.
So-
It's big pauses.
and they were lucky to have that. So if you're Elon Musk,
She definitely was waiting for auto cue there. You could see it. She's like waiting and looking, and you can see her eyes go down. When's the next line going to appear?
71% plunge in profit year to year. And they were lucky
Watch
to
your
have
eyes.
that.
Watch your eyes.
So if you're
She's
Elon
waiting.
Musk, if you're Elon Musk today, on the day you get that kind of news, what are you focused on, right? What's top of mind? What are you today?
I guess he should
Right.
just disappear like you want him to. Elon should just, yeah, okay, I tried. Those rockets I built that fly into space and then land themselves, I guess I'll just put those on the shelf and someone else can continue development there. I'll just go and I'll just quietly walk away.
Bringing up in conversation that nobody's asked you about. Turns out he's really bothered by those protests.
Now, the protests that you'll see out there, they're very organized. They're paid for. They're obviously not going to admit that the reason that they're protesting is because they're receiving fraudulent money, or that they're the recipients of wasteful largesse. But they're going to come up with some other reason. But that is the real reason for the protests. The actual reason is that those receiving the waste and fraud wish to continue receiving it. That is the real thing that's going on here.
Interesting.
Obviously.
Are you mad? Are you bothered? Just a little?
Wow.
You seem mad.
This woman really annoys me. She's too quirky and too likable. I got to say, the bromance Elon and Donald had was cringe. Yeah, the whole lot was pretty cringe. That's for certain. Not as cringe as this though. This is what's this? This is all time high. I've not seen this woman before.
Are you mad? Are you bothered?
She's really enjoying it. She's not just delivering the news, she's really getting off on his downfall.
Are you mad? Are you bothered?
Wow.
Just a little? You seem mad. In your mind, do you really think that, like, organically, naturally, everybody actually loves you and loves what you're doing? And that all of this is people who do, in their heart of hearts, actually love you and love what you're doing? It's just that they're all out there in the streets because they're being paid to pretend otherwise? You think all of these people are people who love you who are being paid to say they don't love you? Or, what did he say? These are people who are receiving fraudulent money. They're receiving the waste and fraud. Really? All of these people? Really?
Hey, Flowski, how you doing, man? A couple of generations ago, there were actually genuine news channels. Yeah, this is obviously... Is this even a news channel? Occupy Democrats. MSNBC's Rachel Maddow. So it's a news reporter. It's more of an opinion piece, isn't it?
This was about 300 people in Cloquet, Minnesota.
And this is all in relation or in retaliation to Elon finding all of the wasteful money that's could be pulled back, all that funding that's gone to these government jobs that don't actually exist, and all the stuff, all the leaks that were discovered. He found them, and of course, because he found them, therefore his everything he's done is bad because he found this. Everything this guy's done up until now is bad because of what he found in his role with Doge. Flowski, I stopped watching the news a long time ago because of this junk. It's all political angling. Yeah. I mean, she's trying to be, she's like a YouTuber, right? She's trying to be the YouTube news star, if you like. Super cringe though, isn't it?
Silently picketing outside the Cloquet Public Library yesterday evening as Republican Congressman Pete Stauber spoke inside. Were all of these people paid to be there? Or are all of these people in Cloquet, Minnesota, all lazy fraudsters who don't want to give up how rich they're getting off all the fraud money that they're taking from the government? Is that what these folks are doing there? Is that who these folks are?
Possibly.
In a totally different part
how
of
can you be sure that they're not?
Same state, 3.5 hours away in Austin, Minnesota. People yesterday protested to try to protect Social Security from Donald Trump and, yes, from Elon Musk.
People protested in Austin against potential Social Security cuts and Elon Musk's
Flowski, I hope all the news networks go bankrupt. The world would be a far better place without them. I mean, look, aside from here streaming, I don't partake in the news. I don't watch. I don't have a television. I haven't had terrestrial television for decades. I mean, I know you can still watch television through digital, and it's the same shit, but it's just delivered a different method. I don't even do that though. You know, it kills me. I'm watching Alone Denmark, right? I'm watching the Denmark version of the show Alone in my time when I watch anything, it'll be something like that, right? And it kills me, even the slightest, you've got to watch commercials, right? You've got to watch at least two at the start, about 10 minutes in. You're watching at least 6, maybe 8 commercials in that show. And even in the smallest amount of time that I spend on that show, I'm already so fucking sick of the commercials because they just play the same one over and over and over again. It's like, I'm not going to buy that lawnmower. Why do you keep sending me this video to a lawnmower? I'm not buying a lawnmower. You know, that's just a silly example, but what if you live in the concrete jungle, you live in the cities, and you're constantly getting these ads for lawnmowers? What the hell are you doing? You're just wasting your money. It's stupid. It's so dumb. It's so stupid. I have a TV, but I only use it as a computer monitor. Exactly, for me, Flowski. That's my monitor right there, and it's just bang up just for those kind of things, for watching shows, yeah.
Comments calling the program a Ponzi scheme. The rally was in response to prior actions of the Trump administration.
He has a tendency to, shoot first and say, I'm sorry later. They make a lot of mistakes that they try to walk back later. They say that they
I love those floating emotes on Kick. You got all those emotes and you got all the trigger, all the alerts, all the voices and the sounds. I love that.
didn't have access. Doge has access to our data. I don't want them playing around with my social security number.
Attendees also expressed concerns about SSA staffing cuts impacting service.
Yeah, hands off, all right. Actually, paws off. Get those tiny hands off our money. Our money. We paid into this system. Every conversation I have these days seeks to find a solution. How do we stop this travesty? What can we do? One voice, 4 words.
One voice, 4 words, folks. Let's continue on. What else we got here tabbed out? Dave Allen on airplanes. Okay. Hendrik's going to slide over to Kick. No worries. See you on the Kick machine. Who's Dave Allen? Comedian?
When I fly, I don't want to care about wide seats, short seats, reclining seats, how much booze they're going to give me, what food I'm getting. When I fly, 3 things I want to know. Will the plane take off? When it's up in the air, will it stay in the air? And when it comes down, is it coming down where they said it would come down? That's all I want to know. Get on airplanes. Good. The language of airlines. Planes are never late. Have you never noticed that? They're delayed.
True.
You get on when they take, and there's always these words that they use. Words are very important. The psychological wording. You get on an airplane, sitting on the runway, ready to take off. That's when the hostess always tells you about the things that can go wrong with the plane. They never tell you that when you're buying the ticket, do they? They never say the wings could fall out or oxygen will fail. None of that. They wait until you're sitting there. Not only are you sitting there, but you're strapped.
He's a great comedian, a British comedian, television comedian from the 70s and 80s. Hendrik, I've never heard of him. I've never heard of this guy. It's pretty funny. He's pretty funny. So far, it's working for me. It's a little Seinfeld-esque, you know. Have you ever noticed this? Have you ever noticed that?
You're strapped into this bloody thing. And then under the guise of talking about the doors, they're giving you a blessing. You know?
That's true. That's funny. I hate the voice of the captain too. He always comes across as super cocky, like, ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard your Jetstar flight from Sydney Kingsford Smith to Adelaide Airport. We'll be taking it up around about 30,000 feet, and then we'll be swinging across the harbour. And if you glance out the left, you'll see vast national parks and the land of Australia underneath you. And we do sincerely wish you enjoy your flight. And cabin crew cross-check and arm doors. All that talk that they do, it's the soothing, calm voice of a pilot who's about to take you and a whole hunk of metal up into the sky, defying all odds, defying gravity, and fly you somewhere very fast. You should be really frightened about that, but that's that soothing voice that just calms you down. I reported the stream on accident. You reported my stream on accident. Now, hold on a second. How do you do that on accident? Let's just take a look at Kick. If I'm just browsing Kick, if I'm just perusing Kick, any stream, I haven't got audio here. I'm just going to, it's coming out my, okay, we don't need audio, but if I'm just, how do I report a stream on accident? Your finger slipped on the button, like my finger's going to slip on the ban button. Is that how your finger slipped? How do you report a stream on accident? So if I wanted to, let's just say I wanted to report this stream right now. This is a channel called Yuggy, and you deserve a reporting. How do you do that? Where is the report button? There's a tab up here. No, that's to make that back out. Okay. Report. Okay, so there's the report button there. I don't know if you can see that. I'll just zoom in. There is a report button there. You click it. So you need to keep going down and shoot. You did not accidentally. What reason did you give for reporting my stream? Your finger slipped on the button. So then you would have to slip again. So you would have slipped on sexually explicit content, child endangerment, hate. Which one did you slip onto, dude? I'm very, very curious about your slip. The exclamation thing. Exclamation following? Does exclamation following report? I slipped on the top. Sexually explicit content? Okay. I actually just slipped on this. I slipped on this. Oh, whoops. I slipped. How about that slip? Unfortunate that slip happened, huh? What a terrible slip I had. Oh, can't believe it. Whoops. Sorry about that. Let's get back to what we're doing.
Use words of, if by chance, if by chance the pressurization of the cabin drops, oxygen will be provided.
Yeah, very unfortunate slip there, Hendrik. Hey, imagine slipping multiple times onto the report button and then choosing the top selection and then reporting a channel with as an accident. Shit.
That's bloody nice of them, isn't it?
Also, imagine telling the streamer you did that. What's the gain there? What's the purpose of telling me that you've done that? It's just a troll, right? Just a dumb troll. Dumb.
They've got you up to 35,000 feet. They're about to asphyxiate you. No, we'll give you some oxygen. And it's all that oxygen will be provided. If an oxygen mask drops down in front of you, please place it over your nose and mouth and breathe. Where else, for Christ's sake? That's the only part of your body you can breathe through. You're not going to stick it on your arse. And breathe normally. Normally. Can you see yourself 35,000 feet? And these things drop out of the roof like used contraceptive? And you're going to go, oh, look at that. Oh, that's interesting. The pressurization of the cabin must have dropped. They're providing us with oxygen. Oh. Very interesting, isn't it? Yes. Crap. Let me tell you, if you're sitting there at 35,000 feet and those things drop down in front of you, the first thing that happens is your anal nerve goes.
Your anal nerve? There's one in there? There's more than one, right?
And on a jumbo jet, that is 500 anal nerves. So the quicker the thing, you get that thing over your nose.
Wait. What was the gag there? There's 500 anal nerves on Qantas. So he's saying that the people that fly Qantas are anal? That's the crux of that joke, right? That's what he said, right?
And on a jumbo jet, that is 500 anal nerves.
No, he said on a jumbo. He didn't say Qantas. So I don't get what's the funny part about that? There's 500 people on a jumbo jet. Ha 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 ha.
And on a jumbo jet, that is 500 anal nerves. So the quicker the thing, you get that thing over your nose,
Okay.
the better.
Yeah, it didn't really work for me, that one. I thought he was saying that there's 500 passengers on board Qantas and they're all anally retarded or something. That's what but he didn't say that. So yeah, there's 500 people on a jumbo shitting themselves. Is that what he was kind of getting at? Okay, without saying the word shitting themselves. Yeah, okay, that's funnier. I didn't put that together, but that is a bit funnier. Still not roll on the floor funny, but better.
Words like emergency landing. Have you come across that? Emergency landing. Emergency landing. It's clever wording. It's an emergency, but it's a landing. They've got you down. We're pros. It's emergency. We've seen you through. We've got you down. You don't have to worry about things like emergency. Somebody says emergency to me, crash! That's what it is, crash! Emergency landing.
I guess that he should ask what the difference between a regular landing and emergency landing is. You're still going down.
Hit, thump, wallop, bang, bump into. We're about to make an emergency landing on the side of this mountain.
Hey, just Rev. Oh man, thank you. That was a DLive donation. I just want to tell you how it feels. Did you all hear that? I hope that came through. That should have come through on the same alert channel. Yeah. I just want to tell you how it feels. Thank you, Just Rev. How you doing, man? Did you know that DLive have removed clips? Are you aware of that, Just Rev? No clips on DLive anymore. And unless that's been a thing for a long time, and I've missed it. But I went in there today to I was going to dig out some old clips, right? I'm putting together my new sort of setup, my new layout and everything, and I was just looking for some old clips. None there. Also, I forgot to mention at the beginning of this stream and at the end of this stream, I'm rolling, instead of using like an intro, like a regular every stream the same, I'm going to start playing AI-generated music. And I think we should set up an option in the Discord for everyone to contribute their own AI-generated music for the stream opening. So like you can sign up to Suno and to UDI or whatever it's called, and you can start using it for free and you can generate music. You can provide lyrics to a song. You know, I chose one about DLive, about Gives a Minute and just kind of a cruisy hip hop beat. Yeah, kind of interesting to just have a song playing at the beginning of the stream. Flowski, they removed them a long time ago. Not sure if they came back and left again. I mean, I feel like I saw clips on DLive maybe a month ago. I was over there just looking at something and I noticed that some of the clips were, you know, I played a few of them. Just Rev, all old clips are gone. They do have a new clip feature. There's a new, wait, what did you say? All old clips are gone? Like, so they're done? They're not in the database? They're gone? That kind of blows. I was going through steadily and downloading mine. And they're providing a new clipping feature. Oh, man. Damn, dude. DLive. Just die already. Be done with it. Wow, that's horrible. So what are you supposed to use? Are you supposed to use the new clipping feature and build up a database of clips to then have those ones gone in a year or two as well? Just Rev just made a clip. Yeah, right. So okay. And the clipping feature works then. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Lovely things like make sure your safety belt is fastened. Can you see yourself going through all this? The plane is coming in. Your table is stowed. Seat is in an upright position. Make sure that all the crockery and glass things you give to the hostess. Hostess, excuse me. We're coming into the side of a mountain. Will you take my glass away from me?
Wouldn't want to spill it.
Take your teeth out. They don't say take your false teeth out. They say take your teeth out.
Wait, they do?
People sit there with spoons going.
They tell you to take your teeth out? That must have been a thing in the 70s.
Place a pillow on your lap and place your head on the lap. You see that? Sitting there, coming into the side of a mountain with your head on your lap. That's so you can kiss your ass goodbye. Brace yourself. Brace yourself. What did you do when you hit the mountain? I braced myself. That's what I did. Do you know that an airplane, after 18 hours flying, is just filled with vomit, defecation, and farts? That's all it is. It hits the side of a mountain. That's why nobody will go near it for days. have you heard, if in the unlikely event of us having to put down on water? There's a double doubt there, isn't it? If unlikely, put the truth, if unlikely, put down on water. Put down?
I feel like the comedy back in the 70s and 80s was a bit easier. Like this isn't that. I mean, it's funny, but it's not that funny, and it's not that smart either. Like it's kind of baseline, isn't it?
Put down. Leaves put down. Thistle down puts down. Feathers put down. Jumbo jets. Have you seen one? It's as big as this theatre, for Christ's sake. If I took this theatre up to 35,000 feet and dropped it, it would not put down. It would bury itself in the bloody ground. That's what it'd do. If in the unlikely event of us having to put down on water, you will find your life jacket under your seat. And then they show you how to put it on. You place it over your head, you take 2 ribbons, you circle your body once, tie it in a bow on the left-hand side, and they do it.
See, none of that's funny. He's got to be leading for something here, building up, right? Because this isn't funny, not at all. That's just what they do, right? He's just going through the actions of what they do.
Can you see yourself coming out of the sky at 900 miles an hour?
Okay. Kind of funny.
You put down in the Indian Ocean. You seen the Indian Ocean? It's enormous. It's black and nasty and enormous. It's got waves, huge, gigantic waves following each other all around. And you look at your safety card, and you have landed in the Indian Ocean. Your captain has managed to find a flat piece. Your plane is flat. All little blue waves all around it, all pretty. The yellow slides coming out of the side of the airplane. People going. The dinghy with a bell tent. Children say, Mummy, we're going camping in the Indian Ocean. You see pictures of the people leaving the airplane. Some arsehole with a briefcase. And the hostess is saying, thank you for flying. The one thing you never see in all that is little black fins, do you? You never looked at those pictures and there's little black fins all floating around, is there? If you get in an airplane and you're looking at the safety card and it has black fins on it, I have been there before you. That's what I do on airplanes now. I get the safety cards and I draw in little black fins. And I get a red ink and kind of put little bits of red in it.
He's kind of not really winning me, this Dave Allen.
And for your added safety, while you're in the Indian Ocean, they give you a whistle. In the Indian Ocean, miles of nothing, huge waves.
That's kind of funny, but I don't know. It's funny just the way he made the whistle sound. The actual gag itself's not that funny.
Rescue plane, 40,000 feet. You deaf bastard! You know, the one thing I've always you hear about, but any sort of mishap with airplanes, the one thing that they always find, they always seem to get back, is the flight recorder, don't they? The black box. They always get the black box back. It's waterproof, bomb-proof, fireproof. It is totally indestructible. Now, why don't they put wings on it and let us fly it?
I've heard that gag before. It's like if the black box is so brilliant, why don't they make the whole plane out of it? It's this pretty simple gag. Dave, yeah, not that funny. I mean, somewhat funny, but what's this? In 1961, a chimp trained harder than Katy Perry for space.
It's been almost a week since the NS-31 mission, or the famous Katy Perry goes into space and becomes an astronaut flight. People cannot stop memeing on this and making fun of it, and I've even seen a lot of posts get traction that are saying that this was completely faked.
1, 2, 3, take us space! Woo!
Now I know that if you follow my channel, you probably know that yes, in fact, it was real, but even those of you who are fans of space are still upset at how it was portrayed by the astronauts.
Wait, was there actual people thinking this was faked? Like, was that a thing that these people still believe it's fake? This is now a few months ago, right? April or whatever. So there was a line of thinking that this might have been faked and people are still feeling it.
Astronauts. In fact, I wanted to make this part 2 because one of my viewers commented Ham the chimpanzee flew longer and higher and was trained to operate 2 levers when prompted. And if you don't know about Ham the chimpanzee, you're going to learn about him in this video. A lot of people are talking about the fact that Katy Perry and the other women on this flight were merely passengers. And so I wanted to give you details about Katy Perry's flight on April 14th, 2025, and the flight involving Ham the chimpanzee on January 31st, 1961, so you can decide in the comments which one you think is more impressive. Not only did Ham the chimpanzee go even higher in space, but he had to train much longer than Katy Perry and the others. And if you've never heard of Ham, well, he is a chimpanzee to be celebrated because he basically paved the way for humans to go into space. He was the guinea pig, or the test monkey. So the Blue Origin flight involving Katy Perry has been described as this historic mission, but let's talk about the different impacts that both of them had. Katy Perry's mission was basically a commercial joyride with no scientific output. It aimed to promote Blue Origin.
Has anyone had sex in space? Like, are there babies that have been born on the space station? That's better conversation. Let's go down that rabbit hole. Give me some ChatGPT machine. ChatGPT. Oh, I've got a bookmark here. Hold on. I'd rather find out about. Actually, I've got something else I can talk to you about as well. Just give me a second here. ChatGPT. Make it larger. Have there been any babies born on the ISS? Ham didn't have to pay millions to go to space, right. No, as of now, no babies have been born on the International Space Station or in space. In fact, no pregnant woman has ever traveled to space. NASA and other space agencies have policies that currently prohibit pregnant astronauts from flying due to the unknown risks associated with microgravity and space radiation on fetal development. Interesting. However, scientists have been exploring the possibilities of reproduction in space through animal studies. In 2023, researchers successfully grew mouse embryos aboard the ISS. These embryos developed into blastocysts. That's a fine word, isn't it? Blastocysts. An early stage in mammalian development under microgravity conditions, showing normal cell numbers and gene expression profiles similar to those on Earth. This milestone suggests that mammalian reproduction in space may be feasible, although further research is needed. Further research? I'll sign up for it. While no humans have been born in space, there have been instances where astronauts became parents during missions. Oh, so the kid was born on Earth? What? Hang on, what? Hang on. How can that be? One of them's got to be there, right? For example, in 2009, astronaut Randy Bresnik's daughter was born while he was aboard the space shuttle. Oh, okay. Who did that? Yo, Jake, how you doing, man? Thanks, buddy. So the next question is, has anyone ever had sex in space? Has anyone had sex in space? And if so, does the gravity help the sperm Find the egg easier. Find the egg more easily? Serious question. This is a serious and valid question, especially in the context of long-duration space missions and human colonization. Here's what we know. Has anyone had sex in space? Officially, no. What the hell? No one's gone for the nookie? No one's gone for the mile high club? No space agency, including NASA, Roscosmos, ESA, or others, have confirmed or documented any instance of humans having sex. You know who's going to do it? It's going to be those OnlyFans. It's going to be like Bonnie Blue and the like. They're going to go up. They're going to pay. They're going to spend all their OnlyFans money to go to space and have sex with like 30 dudes. They'll be the first. Just Rev, the wife of an astronaut, gave birth while he was up in space. Yeah, so she gave birth on Earth and the guy was in space. That doesn't really, I mean, that's not a substitute, right? That's like saying, no, I don't know. It's not quite the same. Anyway, I was going to be a little bit crass, but I'll save it for myself. All crew members aboard the International Space Station are under strict professional and ethical guidelines, and missions are heavily monitored. Interesting. I'm with Jim. There's been plenty of sex off the record. Has there? Jim, Just Rev. There has been sex in space, but NASA doesn't talk about it. There was a pregnancy. Oh, wow. Okay. There have been speculative rumors, particularly regarding mixed gender crews on space shuttle missions, but there's no verifiable evidence that sexual intercourse has occurred in space. NASA and other agencies have largely avoided direct research. It seems like they're missing something, right? Like, think about, okay, just bear with me here. When you lay on your back and you gaze up into the sky at night and you look into the cosmos and you see galaxies upon galaxies, you look as far as your eye can see, you see light coming from distant stratospheres. In that light is life. There's some life out there, right? And it all comes from Nookie originally. So why isn't there research to work that out? Why aren't we documenting and testing what sex would be like in space? We could create a great species. We could create a species that doesn't need gravity or doesn't need oxygen. I don't know. Like, there could be. They must test this, right? Like, you're never going to learn if you don't test. It says here they've avoided research into human sexual activity in space. Wow, man. I'm going to just say, but isn't it safe to suggest that all life is born in space? In brackets, I mean, Earth is within space itself, if you follow me. Yes, absolutely, and that's a brilliant philosophical and scientific observation. Earth is in space. You're exactly right. Earth is not separate from space. It's part of it. Everything that happens here, life, birth, death, evolution, occurs within the context of outer space. Earth is just a specific environment within the broader cosmos. So in that sense, every human, animal, and microbe ever born was technically born in space. So why aren't we why aren't we researching it? So why are we not researching that in a deeper sense? In a deeper sense? That's the question, and one that many space scientists, ethicists, and futurists are increasingly asking. Here's a breakdown of why deeper research into human reproduction in space isn't yet a major focus, but probably should be. I agree with you, ChatGPT machine. Ethical and legal boundaries. There's no legal boundaries in space. The legalities stop on Earth, right? We don't need legal shit up in space. It's just space, man. It goes on forever and ever. No pregnancies in space are allowed under current space agency protocols. Who's up there, I caught you having sex up there. Well, what's going to happen? You go down and back down to earth and report for detention. This is mainly due to unknown risks to the fetus, the inability to provide emergency medical support. Okay, that's fair. There's no doctors up there. What about Doctor Who? No legal or policy framework for childbirth off Earth. I mean, look, if we're going to populate Mars, right? If Elon's going to do that, there's going to need to be some nookie going on at some point. Interesting. It is being researched, but mostly with animals. NASA, JAXA, Roscosmos, and others have conducted animal studies in space, mostly with mice, frogs, and fruit flies. Those little buggers. That's a good idea, Jim. That's a very good comment. If you give birth in space, what nation would the kid belong to? That's a very good claim. And what passport would they get? That's very important context. You're not going to get pregnant on a 7-day mission, but it'd be bloody fun trying, wouldn't it, Hendrik? Be a good 7 days up there, you know. I did my best I possibly could. I just find that intriguing that we're not actually really pursuing that. Like no one, the opposite. NASA is actively not pursuing it. Seems a bit strange.
Origin's tourism business and garner publicity, and a lot of critics are calling it a vanity project that contributed nothing to society, except for a lot of people are talking about it and making fun of it.
1, 2, 3, take it up space!
Ham's mission was a high-stakes scientific experiment to ensure humans could survive spaceflight. Without Ham's success, NASA might have delayed Alan Shepard's historic flight May 5, 1961. Ham's data on physiological and cognitive performance directly advanced the Mercury program and the U.S. space race effort. Ham wasn't just a passenger like Katy, he was a pioneer. His flight was a make-or-break moment for NASA, while Katy Perry's was essentially a celebrity stunt with zero scientific value. And Ham had to train a lot longer than these ladies.
Do you have a message for your family in this moment?
It's okay. Yeah, don't stress. I'm going to be very emotional this weekend, of course.
Yeah, it's an emotional thing. It's a big journey.
It's huge.
And this whole journey is not just about going to space. It's the train.
It's not? You might say that's the whole point of it, right?
Training, it's the team, it's the whole thing. I couldn't recommend this experience more.
For Katy Perry and the others, training was minimal, likely a few days of briefings on safety and capsule procedures.
Jim, Russia killed at least one dog in their space program. Sputnik, right? I think it was Sputnik.
The automated New Shepard required no active participation, and of course those passengers were basically space tourists. Gayle King even commented about their training, saying that it was space forward and mainly focused on making them comfortable. But then when you think about Ham, he had to train for 2 years under intense conditions, learning to pull levers in response to cues while enduring simulated G-forces and confinement. His training was akin to that of early astronauts, requiring precision and resilience. Failure meant potential mission delays or loss of life for Ham. Ham also went through a lot more physical exertion and forces than Katy Perry and crew. Katy Perry experienced a smooth, low-stress flight with 3 to 4 Gs and modern safety systems. The automated capsule ensured a comfortable ride with no tasks required beyond enjoying the view, and even people are hating on Katy for this, saying that the whole time she was holding a flower in honor of her daughter Daisy and basically not even looking outside of the window, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. Ham, on the other hand, faced extreme G-forces up to 15 Gs, a malfunctioning rocket that overshot its trajectory, and a partial cabin depressurization. Despite these issues,
Jim, Sputnik was the satellite, the first man-made object to circle Earth. Oh, was that right? Okay. What was the dog that you said that they killed? I thought that was the name of it. But
he performed his tasks.
By the way, I don't know if this video is all that thought-provoking, because that chimpanzee, as in the title of the video, 1961, So you're comparing a space flight from 1961 to a space flight from 2025. I mean, there's a world of difference between the technology, between infrastructure, between everything to do with this. I don't get why, like, yeah, okay, Katy Perry might be not the most, I don't know, she's a bit of a dum-dum, right? Like, it's not a, she deserves to go to space like the next person. There's no reason why she should go to space and no one else should, but she's obviously a celebrity, got a lot of money. I don't think there's anything in this. Like, just, yeah, I don't know. Like, the idea wasn't for them to go up there and you know, go step forth before where no man has stepped before, and, you know, captain's log, Starship Enterprise style. They just went up there to check it out and come straight back. I don't know if this is a fair comparison.
Living beings could function in space's harsh environment. Let's talk about the risk and the bravery. Katy Perry talked about how much self-trust she needed for this flight, but let's face it, she flew on a well-tested New Shepard vehicle with 10 prior crewed flights and a robust safety measure.
Yeah. See, the way they're talking about this, it's almost kind of like, it's almost the same as talking about the first person to drive a motor vehicle. Well, we didn't, or no, the first person to fly in a plane, you know, like the Wright brothers, that kind of thing. Like, we were very frightened, we might have died. And it's the same shit. Like, in 20 years from now, maybe this will be like, you know, there will be OnlyFans chicks up there creating content, you know, this will just be passe, but someone's got to do it first, right? Leica, that's what I was trying to think of. I remember Duncan was telling me about that. Originally named Kadriaka, a stray dog from Moscow. Like, I remember that name, Leica.
Risk was minimal, but Ham, on the other hand, who didn't have a choice, flew on unproven technology with a high chance of failure. In fact, a prior test rocket had exploded. Ham's survival was uncertain, yet he performed flawlessly, earning his place as a space hero. So let's talk about legacy. Why has Blue Origin talked about the NS-31?
Hell, you can die on a freaking roller coaster. Exactly. And there's always got to be someone that takes that first ride on the roller coaster. You know, they put up a new theme park and there's this big roller coaster. Someone's got to go first. Usually it's cement bags, right? They put cement bags in there or sacks of potatoes, and then a human has to do it. You know, do we rant and rave about that first human? This is a nothing. This is a nothing burger. Maybe she might not have paid as much attention to the scene behind her. Maybe she was a bit caught up in the moment. And I think they only had like 3 or 4 minutes in actual orbit. So I don't know, man. I just think like people want to hate on people all the time. Like, I think Katy Perry, I don't even know her music. I don't know enough about her, but I know that she's a celebrity and she's a musician, and that's about it, right?
As being so historic. Many people see it as a footnote.
I mean, she's very pretty. She's very good looking. So there's that. That'll sell it, right? If you want to sell the idea, then you got to get someone good looking. They achieved that goal.
For its environmental impact and lack of purpose. Its all-female label was overshadowed by accusations of privilege and tone deafness.
It is a bit strange that there's all women though. Like, isn't there meant to be equal rights, or is it not equal anymore? Like, what happened there? How come there wasn't a man on that flight? It's supposed to be equal, right? She sold her soul. That's all you need to know. Well, she paid, right? Like that I'm understanding they all paid, right, to be up there.
However, Ham's mission was actually a cornerstone of the U.S. space program, enabling human spaceflight and contributing to the Apollo moon landings. He's remembered as a trailblazer. And Ham was even in space longer. Ham's mission lasted 16 and a half minutes total, while Katy Perry's was only about 11 minutes. Ham also went significantly higher, traveling 157 miles up. That's significantly higher than the Kármán line. Compare that to Blue Origin's Joyride, 66 miles just above the Kármán line, which is recognized as the boundary of space. And just one more fun comparison, notable achievements on both of these missions, while Katy Perry sang "What a Wonderful World" in space, and Ham performed lever pulling tasks with 90% accuracy despite unexpected flight stresses, demonstrating cognitive reliability in space. Another crazy thing that you might not know, NASA did not actually definitively know whether Ham the chimpanzee had survived the Mercury Redstone 2 mission until they opened the capsule after the recovery. The mission had already faced several issues, including the rocket over-accelerating, the capsule overshooting its landing zone by 130 miles, and having partial cabin depressurization. So they didn't even know if Ham was alive in there. Luckily, he was. NASA personnel and veterinarians opened the capsule on the recovery ship.
To be a star, she made a deal with the devil. They all do. It's part of the One-Eyed Club. Right. To be to be a pop star, she had to sign off her life, I guess. Okay.
Only then did they confirm Ham was alive, though he was shaken. He was reported to be in good health, even accepting an apple as a reward, though some accounts note he appeared agitated and bared his teeth, probably from being a little stressed out. Which, speaking of opening doors, I don't know if you guys caught this during the live stream, but the Blue Origin New Shepard door accidentally opened from the inside by the women on the mission. In a panic, they were told to shut it. It's all caught on camera.
Here goes Jeff Bezos to open the hatch.
Again, I saw this when it happened. This is a giant nothing burger. So they opened the door from the inside. Big fucking whoop. People were saying, it's fake. It's fake. It's fake because they opened it from the inside. Do you think a door on a space shuttle might have the option to open from either side in case of emergencies, let's just say? Obviously, they wanted to open it from the outside. They got all the cameras rolling. Someone opened it from the inside, and then they got told off, and they closed it again. So fucking what? It's nothing, right? But everybody's like, I told you this was fake. I can't believe you're getting away with this. This is so phony. It's so stupid. People want to believe. They want to make things fake just to satisfy their own dementia.
And then we see Jeff tripping behind the capsule. He wanted to basically use a special tool to open it that clearly wasn't needed, and this whole thing was botched and pretty embarrassing. Okay, the other thing that I just have to...
So he tripped over. Fake. God, I mean, it's so fake. If he tripped over, Jeff Bezos, man, the guy who invented Amazon, he can't trip over. Fake.
Mention is that all of the conspiracy theorists are coming out saying, look, there are no burn marks. This capsule clearly didn't go to space, and it was all fake and green screened. But you guys, the new Shepard capsule doesn't have significant re-entry burns because it follows a suborbital trajectory, not an orbital one. It reaches just above the Kármán line, which is 100 kilometers or the edge of space, with a maximum speed of about 2,200 miles per hour or Mach.
If they say it didn't go to space, where the hell did it go? Where was it for those 11 minutes? People watched it launch. Did all of a sudden it disappear behind the dome? Where did it go? Where did everybody that watched this thing in real life, where did the spacecraft go if it didn't go to space? Who said this was fake? Man, I remember hearing it all. I do often doom scroll through Twitter, usually for crypto news, but yeah, this stuff popped up on crypto as well, on Twitter as well. People just want to believe it's fake, man. It's so strange.
3. This is much slower than spacecraft returning from orbit like SpaceX's Crew Dragon, which re-enters at speeds around 17,500 miles per hour. So look, I'm not denying that this thing happened. This is clearly not fake, but unfortunately it keeps getting talked about. And so I just thought that it would be a fun comparison. You know, clearly the flight with Blue Origin would have been so easy that a monkey or a chimpanzee could have probably done it.
You're suggesting Katy Perry's a monkey? What's this? Meet the teen with the world's most advanced bionic hands. Now, this should be interesting. Bionic hands? So she must have lost her hands in an accident or something? Just Rev, low orbit isn't really space. It's just, you know what? If I was to slag that at all, if I was to say this is why that thing was rubbish, it wasn't high enough, right? Like going into space, if you're going to go up in a rocket and you're going to break gravity and you're going to get up there, you might as well go out, like go right out, go where no man has gone before, go out there, spend a few weeks out there, just cruise around, I want to see Earth as the pale blue dot from that photograph, right? That's being in space, right? Going up, it's like a roller coaster. You didn't even get to the top of it and then you come back down already. Like it seems like a giant waste. I'm with you. Yeah, you want to get out there. You want to be out there in the depth of space where you're, a day or two away from returning, where you look into the thing and you can see that right down there is this tiny little speck and that's planet Earth, and we're all the way out here. And tell you what, everywhere we look around, there's jack shit. It's just black, nothing. That's what you want to see, right? Because that's what would intrigue people. People will be like, oh, wow. And you can see the moon and you can see the sun over there and it's big. And then there's these smaller, littler planets. Then everybody will be like, oh, man, all those times in school we were taught about the galaxy, it's real. Look at that. That's a live feed from that trip, man. It's right there. And you've got these little planets and you've got the little ring of Saturn and all that cool stuff. And then you can look to the back and see Uranus and all that cool stuff. I'd love to see that. I love Uranus.
We're starting today by meeting a real-life superhero, aren't we?
After contracting meningitis.
I can't handle this English accent. We're starting today with a real-life hero.
We're starting today by meeting a real-life superhero, aren't we?
After contracting meningitis when she was just 15 months old, Tilly Lockie's hands were amputated to save her life. But through state
man. No way. She got meningitis at 15 months and they took her hands off. That's horrible, right? Like, why would they give a kid, like, how? That's so cruel that kids, like, that's not fair. Meningitis, dude. How do you get meningitis? Chat GPT. I better start a new chat, otherwise it kind of gets a little confusing. How does a baby contract meningitis? Meningitis. Bard. It says a baby can contract meningitis when infectious agents, usually bacteria or viruses, invade the meninges, the protective membrane covering the brain and spinal cord. No way. It's got to get into the spinal cord. Here's how this typically happens. Causes of meningitis in babies: bacterial meningitis, group B, streptococcus, GBS, often passed from the mother to baby. Okay. Escherichia, transmitted during birth or from the environment. That's E. coli. Oh, okay. Listeria monocytogenes, passed from mother to baby via the placenta. Oh, shit. Streptococcus pneumoniae, or Haemophilus influenza type B. Less common in newborns, more in older infants. Just Rev, I bet you anything she got it from the childhood vaccines. Oh, interesting. Viral meningitis. Enteroviruses, the most common viral cause, spreads via contact with an infected person's poop. Herpes simplex virus, right? We know about this. Transmitted from mother to baby during birth, especially if the mother has active genital herpes. Oh, wow. You will not find the truth about vaccines. You have to look much deeper. I mean, are you telling me that ChatGPT wouldn't find the truth about it? ChatGPT isn't slanted any direction as far as I was aware. It's not trained on any particular angle, right? Are you saying ChatGPT might be lying or might have a bias? Routes of transmission before birth. Some bacteria or viruses can cross the placenta. Yep. During birth, exposure. Okay. After birth, caregivers or hospital. Man, imagine getting it from the hospital. It's supposed to be clean there. Premature birth, some of the risk factors: premature birth or low birth weight, prolonged rupture of membranes, maternal infections, weakened immune system, lack of maternal prenatal care. Symptoms to watch for: high fever, poor feeding, lethargy, bulging fontanelli. Oh, the soft spot in the head before the scalp is joined up. I remember my sister telling me about that with Claudia. Seizures, vomiting, stiff neck. Prevention. Just to satisfy Just Rev, is there any link to vaccines and meningitis? Meningitis in babies. Grab your baby. Yes, vaccines are closely linked to both the prevention and, very rarely, the triggering of meningitis in babies. Here's how. Vaccines help prevent meningitis. Several routine childhood vaccines protect against the leading cause of bacterial meningitis. The Hib vaccine protects against that one. The pneumococcal conjugated vaccine protects against streptococcus. Okay, so they're protecting. Okay, protecting NRMA and Vaxxarillia. Here we go. Can vaccines cause meningitis? Very rarely. Vaccines can be associated with aseptic non-bacterial meningitis, but this is extremely uncommon and typically mild. The NRMA vaccine and mumps, a specific strain of mumps used in older MMR vaccines like the Urababe strain. You're a babe. Come over here, you cutie. You're a babe. Not used in Australia or the US anymore, associated with rare causes of aseptic meningitis. Current MMR vaccines in use have a much safer strain and have not shown this issue. Other vaccines, occasionally post-vaccine fever can lead to convulsions. There are rare anecdotal reports of transient symptoms mimicking meningitis. However, these extreme rare and not the same as true infectious. The NRMA vaccine from BP, yeah, right on. Let's see if I think Just Rev wants to go down this avenue. How do I phrase this? Is there any documented case of the COVID-19 vaccine causing I spelled it wrong twice. That doesn't look right. It doesn't matter. Causing meningitis in babies. As of now, there are no documented cases of meningitis occurring in infants or babies as a result of the COVID-19 vaccination. The available reports of post-vaccination meningitis primarily involves adults and adolescents, with no confirmed instances in infants. Okay, so we're specifically dealing with babies here because this is the story, but a case report detailed a 12-year-old boy developed zoster meningitis after receiving the Pfizer BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine. So not quite a baby, but 12 years old. This case involved reactivation of the varicella zoster virus, which had been dormant since his earlier chickenpox infection. Okay. It's important to note that the COVID-19 vaccines are not currently approved for use in infants. Okay. Under 6 months. In Australia, the Therapeutic Goods Administration approved COVID-19 vaccines for children aged 6 months and older following rigorous safety evaluations. The risk of serious side effects, including neurological complications such as meningitis, remains extremely low. Okay. So I think that does answer it, right? No cases of, no linked cases in infants from the COVID vaccine, but definitely some interesting conversation there. You think it's lying? Okay. Well, Just Rev, if ChatGPT is lying, that's coming directly from the internet. So that means all of the internet is lying. Make that make sense. Let's continue. It's 15 months. She wouldn't even know what having hands is, right? That's a blessing in a way. Like she never knew what having hands was. As weird as that sounds. You guys talking about it's big pharma bullshit. So you think ChatGPT is feeding big pharma? It's suppressing info? Okay. I mean, that's the internet. Like that's not like just a pocket of the internet. That's all the internet up until 2024 or whenever the ChatGPT model was trained until. All that crap comes from big pharma, has a vested interest. I tell you what I will say about this, because I don't agree with you guys at the moment, but I will say this. It's very interesting that the vaccine that I got, AstraZeneca, has since been removed from the market by the very people that created it. So it's been pulled back, and they're not, the people who created it, right? They're not recommending it. They've taken it off the market. The one that I had. That's very concerning, right? We were told by our government to get these jabs. In fact, we were told if you don't get these jabs, there's certain things you cannot do, and you won't be able to access certain things, and you won't be able to do this and that. And in my case, there was some jobs and things that I needed to be done. This and that needed to happen. I go to my local GP. I need the jab. Which one do you got here? Well, we recommend you have AstraZeneca. Okay, jab me up. Bingo, bango. All good, no effect. Come back the next time, whatever it was, 3 or 4 weeks later, get the second jab. Bingo, bango. Oh, felt so ill, right? That second one absolutely clocked me. Like I was out. It was horrible experience. That second jab. First jab, whatever. Didn't feel a thing, nothing, no side effect. Second jab, bam, you're down for the count. Go to New Zealand, spend a year or a season over there in the winter with NZ ski. Got COVID, got really ill. The jab didn't help me. I still got it. I still think from there I don't have my full sense of taste. I've lost the sense of taste that I had, like the real, like there's certain foodstuffs such as these, the greatest chips on the planet. Is that going to focus? I've got autofocus on these days. I'm not using manual focus. That should focus. Awesome. Thank you, GH5. Look at that autofocus. Perfect. Where's Nick Cole when you need him? These are such good chips, but I can hardly taste them. Wow. Rephrase. I can still taste them, but they don't taste as good as they used to. Yeah, so, and then they pulled that off the market. Like about 3 years later, they're like, yeah, by the way, AstraZeneca, we don't think you should be taking that one. Wait, who doesn't think? The people who made it. The people who created it, right? The people who made it in the labs, they're like, yeah, don't take that one. In fact, we're not going to let you take it. We don't think you should. We're taking it off the market. That's very, very concerning. It kills me to think that I really wish I had said no. I really wish I had put my foot down and said, no, I'm not doing that. And if I could go back in time, which you can't, I would say, that's not for me. All that crap, this is Jim speaking, all that crap comes from the big pharma that has vested interest in hiding the truth. Like the ABC judgment yesterday, I'm not sure what that was, because it was killing people. You had both vaccines, Hendrik. Did you get the AstraZeneca and the Pfizer? It's all about depopulation. Man, we were all lied to. Look at Charlotte's heart palpitations, right? Yeah, she did, didn't she? They told us the jab would stop you getting it. It didn't. It definitely didn't stop me getting it, dude. Your iPhone is better at focusing. Yeah, true. Then they said the jab would keep you from spreading it. It didn't. I mean, look, you can't. What Just Rev is saying in the chat, you can't deny, right? These were all things that happened. Man, if anything, we lived through a pretty interesting period of humankind, right? Of the history of a population, of a species. We lived through it. I'm fortunate enough to have lived through grunge, Nirvana, right? I think that was a wonderful time to be alive. The possibly the best music to have ever been created, right? In the 90s, right? You can say what you want, old man staring at clouds, whatever, shouting at clouds even. The best music came out of that grunge era. We're so fortunate, right? And then you get to this COVID thing. It's like, oh, that's also in my generation. We had grunge, we had 9/11, and we had COVID, right? These are three big things to have happened. I kind of feel pretty fortunate to be here. And as I near my 50th year on this planet, I'm getting a little sentimental here. But I wish I hadn't taken the jab. Just saying. You had Pfizer and Astra. Yeah. I spent years trying to wake people up to the truth about vaccines. Jim, would it be safe to say you didn't get it? You didn't get the jab? I wonder. James Emming, my friend in Adelaide, I don't think he got it as well. I think he held firm. Man, if I could go back in time, and you know what? My sister that made me get it. My sister's rad, but for that, she's got a lot to make up to me. That was horrible. She forced me into it. I can blame her. I'm going to blame anyone. I didn't and I won't. Yeah. Well, Jim, I'll just say this right now up front. You were right. I'm just going to say it. You were right. I'm not saying you're right about everything that you say in my chat, but you were right in that instance. You were right. If we could take our time back, I would stand firm. Mind you, in my case, it was a family thing. It was if you don't take it, then you can't associate with Portia. She's a young girl growing up. She's turning 5, turning 6. If you don't take the jab, you won't be able to hang out with her. Do you want to miss out on her growing up because you're being stubborn about this? Or do you want to just take this thing that the rest of the planet's taking and be done with it? And by the way, then I had other jobs in interstate and stuff like that. So those things could happen as well. But I tell you what, man, you fast forward to 2025 and it's like, really? They're taking that thing off the market. What the fuck? How does that make you feel now? If you took the jab, if you got the AstraZeneca, they turned around in the span of the next 3 years and said, don't take that. And who is they? The people who created it. They said it's not right. Don't take it. And if you don't believe us, we're going to remove it from the market. Oh, man. I am ham, right? Anyone that took AstraZeneca is ham. Not the donkey, you know what? I just got a text message, but that would have killed the NDI source. If I had been streaming, that would have shut down the NDI source. I'm the chimpanzee here. I haven't had any shots since this 1995, and it was a flu shot that almost killed me. Wow. Fair. Hendrik, even though I don't think I ever got COVID, I'm convinced I have long COVID. Okay. Well, you can test for that. You can make a test to see if you have the COVID strain. It takes at least 5 years to see the full effect of any vaccine. Let's do the math then. 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. Oh, hello. When did they pull that off the market? About a year and a half ago. 2023, 2024, 2025. I wish I hadn't taken it. Now, I don't want to detract from this girl's story because, man, she was 15 months old when she lost her hands. But she wouldn't have known anyway. If there's any blessing here, it's that she wouldn't have. There's something to be said here that if you're so young when this happens to you, like in her case, 15 months, and she doesn't know what hands are, isn't there something to be said where she can then develop other skills that are better than what we would have developed? Like as a baby, when I was 15 months, I'm starting to use my fingers to pick my nose and scratch my ass and pick up shit off the floor. But she would be using different techniques. Possibly she might use her hand to move things and scoop things, and she might develop a better way of doing something that people with fingers might not have stumbled upon because they were using their fingers. So like if I'm like trying to draw a positive out of this, she might have some kind of advantage by not having hands. I know that doesn't sound like that could compute, but there might be something to be said there. The worst would be if it's like a kid who gets to like 7 or 8 and then loses their hands. They've grown up as a baby scooping their fingers and running their hands in this. Do they know what hands are and then they lose them? No, but this child was 15 months, so maybe there's something, I don't know, like kind of like a blessing in a weird way. Most use their toes in place of hands. Yeah, right on. And yeah, so she might have like a skill set that no one else possesses because of the fact that she was forced into this. Well, she wasn't even forced. She was that is her normal, right? Like that is her normal. It's kind of strange to say, but yeah. It's hard to comprehend because we don't know what that will be like because we were born with hands. Hendrik, yuck. I'm glad I didn't have to grow up with any of that shit. Right. What? I'm not sure what you're talking to. Hey, Rob Mac, what up, bitch? Jesus. What's your fucking language, man? How you doing, man?
skills you find.
The other thing is that once she becomes like old enough to realize that she doesn't have what the next kid has, then you've got all these psychological issues as well. Like, well, hold on a second. Why am I different to the next person? That would be more difficult because at that stage she would have developed usage of her limbs that we don't know about, but then she's standing out like out of the pack, right? Like, well, I don't have hands, so everybody stares at me kind of thing. Horrible, hey. Hey, Elfsar, how you doing, man? You got clips on Kick. Yeah, but DLive got rid of our clipses. And by the way, Elfsar, I know you just joined us, but I did get my money out from DLive, USDT. And I bought ADA, I bought Cardano, and then the snapshot had already happened, blah, blah, blah.
It's been a journey. Yeah. It's been a journey. Now, obviously, you're here to show off your new bionic arms.
Yes.
I've been watching you on Instagram,
wow.
actually. It's so interesting.
Did you see that? Her hands move. So she's using Neuralink to move those. I was worried for you. Yeah, thanks, man. I'm glad you told me that. Yeah, I got it out and I'm done. Did you see the way they moved it? I don't design robotic arms, but do you think it looks a little long? Like it, I know she's quite a lanky girl, but it feels like it from the elbow to the hand, it seems like it's just a little bit too long. Like that span there, I feel like it goes a bit too far. I think it should be a bit shorter, right? I've known a victim of thalidomide. I don't know what that is, man. Thalidomide. Rest in peace, clips. Been gone for a year and now they are back and utter shit. Yeah, but they took our clips, the ones that we made all those years ago are gone. Might have to be right, it might have to be that long. Yeah.
And Joel, you actually designed these. What got you into bionics?
Well, probably playing with Lego as a child.
So she can reach stuff on the top shelf. Oh, jeez. Rob, man. Oh, my God. 3-day notice that went into space. So there was a notice about removing clips? Okay, I didn't see it. They deleted everything. Yeah, I went in there today to just get some clips out and, yeah, none there. That's pretty lame. Thanks, DLive. Her hands amputated. All the connecting parts are still in her arm, so you can still just build off of that. That's so sick. But there is questions that I'd have. Like if I was asking the questions, I'd be saying, so can you take them off? Like, do you just like unscrew it and like put it on the bench when you take a shower? Like how does it logically work? Do you sleep with them on? Like what? These are questions that, that's pretty cool. Yo, it's only a bit corrupt on DLive. Hey, mate, been lurking, might not be able to get them wet. Yeah, true. Yeah, you're right. She probably can't get these arms wet. And so that's what I was asking. Like, do you take them off when you're showering or you put them on the side for a charge overnight kind of thing? They'd have to be charged up. Right on, Rob Mac. No water because it's promo? Oh, wow. Okay, interesting. Well, she seems like she's been wearing them for a while. If she can identify weight with them, like she picked up that glass, right? So she went out and reached and grabbed it and held it. But then there's another muscle that lifts it, right? Like the muscle to lift that off the table isn't the same muscle as the one that contracted the hand. So how does she know how heavy it is? Interesting. It's amazing stuff though. Yeah. It's fully amazing. I mean, that opens up like a world of different concepts, doesn't it? Like it sounds, don't take this the wrong way, but if she can do that with one hand that's detached from her body, why couldn't she do that with multiple hands? Like just in series, like have 10 hands and then she could start doing tasks, right? Like some menial job that requires packing of something into a box, for example. She could do that like 10 times, 20 times, 50 times faster than anybody else because she's only got to control the one brain movement and then 50 hands do the movement. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's the new look, mum, no hands. Right on, Elsa. It fully is. So she could get other attachments. Yeah. That song was We Didn't Start the Fire. Right. She could be a super internet troll. She could be, what's the saying? Like 1,000 monkeys at 1,000 keyboards. She's literally that, right? She could be 1,000 people typing. She could write the Magnus Opus kind of thing without even knowing she's doing it. Anyone could do it as well. Well, yeah, Rob, that's a good point. Yeah, yeah, true. Why is it just, yeah. But hang on, but the part that's still attached to her forearm, that's wired into her muscles. So you'd have to be willing to do open surgery and get wired in, right? You got to have, the software has to meet the physical wear, right? Oh, the hardware, sorry. The hardware has to meet the hardware. It would have been a great gag. They should have brought in another hand and just had it behind the couch, behind the interview subjects, and she should have just been walking it around and like frightened the shit out of them. That would have been pretty funny. Wear a glove that tracks your movements. Elsa, the sex trade would make a dildo attachment and then it can be detached and still controlled. I mean, yeah, like that probably will be what happens, right? That's where this will go. And like the sex industry usually pioneers everything. That's where the VHS beta war took place. I'm sure that's how it'll be developed further and further. But I mean, it's for someone like her who lost her hands when she was like a baby, 15 months. This is quite literally life changing. And think about it, someone that in her situation she lost her hands, but imagine it was your feet or your leg from the knee down. These kind of prosthetics are going to quite literally give people back a normal kind of life. Pretty rad.
Thank you so much for visiting us.
That's pretty full on. I'm just going to say it. That's incredible. Definitely opens up a world of thoughts. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up here, but just before we go, I just want to remind you all. So yeah, this is kind of like my new stream setup, I suppose, just with the RODECaster Pro II and audio. But I do want to test this with call-ins, so I'm not too sure. I know I haven't been streaming much lately. There is something that else is going on, but anyway, but I'm quite excited by how this is all working, and the GH5's back now, so we've got the proper camera, and I feel like I've just got everything kind of back to how I wanted it with my stream. With that in mind, I am using AI to generate stream intro songs. So I'm going to open this up to everybody else. If you want to provide a theme song for the Gives a Minute streams, which we can rotate through, I've got 64 banks of Stream Deck like buttons I can trigger songs with. Each stream can begin with a different one, or we can choose one that we like. We can vote on them. I'll set up in the Discord later on. I'll make a Discord AI music, and you can go and use Suno. Just try to make songs that are related to Gives a Minute, something to do with in the song that I'm going to play here when we outro this stream, you'll hear it mentions Fart Girl and it mentions DLive and it mentions surfing and crypto. Just get experimental with it, get creative with it, do whatever genre you like. I chose like hip hop, I guess. You can choose whatever genre you want. And we'll just open and close each stream with one, and we'll vote on them and have a bit of fun with it. I don't know. I feel like it's something cool, something different. So yeah, there's no more. Anywho, I've got to go to bed. I'm not doing that shit anymore. And this layout and this setup and this mic setup and everything is how I'm going to roll with my streams. There's not going to be a YouTube specific stream anymore. I know I said I'd do that in August, but I've just the way that my camera broke and I had to use my phone for so long, I've redone everything now, and we're early, right? It's about July. I was going to do this in August, but I'm doing it now. So everything's, you can always watch these streams wherever you want. There's never going to be, this is a YouTube only stream from now on. It's just all here as it is. And yeah, we're just doing things a little bit different from now on. So with that in mind, enjoy, what's this song called? This one was called Living in the Moment or Living in the Dream. I think that's what the AI generated. I'll see you all soon, and I'll put in the Discord and you can go ahead and submit your own songs. You can do it all for free. Just use the free versions of these AIs. Seems like a bit of fun. I used one called UDIO. It's like audio without the A, I think. Anyway, see you soon if I've done this correctly.
Started out alive, man, that was the play. Streaming every night, building up the sway. But as the sight faded, I had to find my way. Now I'm hopping platforms, surfing through the fray. Got my crew behind me, yeah, we call them givers. Chillin' IRL, catching all the rivers. Farkle in the chat, bringing lost to the grind. Talking crypto games while we sippin' Jack Fine.
Get the jack out, get the jack out, get the jack out, get the jack out.
Living in the moment, life's a subtle rhyme.
I added that bit now, by the way.
From the land down under, streaming through the night. New Zealand's vibe, surfing waves day to night. Always looking for the next thrill, that's where I ignite. Community so solid, always shining bright. Rolling, rolling deep and cruising for the height. From the struggle to the stream, it's all just a game. But with the giver found, we're making our name. Jacking crypto profits, life just gets sweeter. Every view and every stream, making life a keeper. Give us a minute, yeah, we take our time.
Get the jack out, get the jack out, get the jack out, get the jack out.
From the land down under, streaming through the night.
That's Australia.
Got my heart on my sleeve, everything feels right. So here's to the journey, no regrets in sight. Each laugh and each tear, it's a beautiful fight. Keep the wave rolling, let the good vibes flow. We're the givers, together in the show. Gives a minute, yeah, we take our time. Living in the moment, the life's a subtle rhyme. From the land down under, streaming through the night. Got my heart on my sleeve, everything feels right.
There you go, folks. Pretty interesting. Submit your AIs for the intro and outro, and I'll see you on the flip side.